Well, hello, and welcome back to Read Becca. It's time for a tag for this Tag Tuesday, and we're going to do the end of the year book tag because I like this tag. I just think it's not going to be very satisfying for you as viewers. Though I enjoy doing the tag, I enjoy looking forward to the end of the year, but I am not a reader who puts a ton of pressure on my reading. I read fast enough that things are not going to be sitting around a ton. So we will see how this goes. This is an original tag from years and years ago, and it's very perennial. Everyone does this tag every year. You don't need to be tagged. So if you feel like doing it, go ahead and do it. Prompt number 1 is, are there any books you started this year that you need to finish? I don't really feel like that. Anything that I have started at this point, I will probably finish with one exception. So I guess I'm going to use that one, and that's the complete Edgar Allan Poe. I, in fact, don't think that it's going to be finished by the end of the year. I haven't counted out the stories, but myself and my friend Shannon have been very slow reading this since the beginning of this year, and I think we'll be pretty close by the end of the year. But I don't think we're quite going to be on track to finish by the end of the year. And number 2 is, do you have an autumnal book to transition into the end of the year? And again, I think this is going to be a very unsatisfying answer for you all, but I do. However, I'm not going to tell you what that book is because I have a 3-book reading vlog that are all kind of very autumnal vibe, slightly spooky books that I think I'm going to love. And I'm on the 3rd book. So when that vlog comes out, you will see my autumnal book. Number 3 is there a new release you're still waiting for? No, I haven't paid attention at all to what new releases are coming out or upcoming almost at all this year. I've completely lost touch with that. And I do follow the weekly release videos from Locus Magazine, so I see what is coming out, but usually just the day it's coming out, rather than ahead of time. So I'm perfectly happy to take what comes when it's out. Next one is, what are the 3 books you want to read before the end of the year? I have so many. I do want to still read all the things. I have many lists that I want to get to. I want to finish out a bunch of sequels. So I think those are probably very top of the list. I have Those Beyond the Wall by Micaiah Johnson, Mirrored Heavens I'm actively in progress on, so that probably could have gone for the first prompt as well. So those are definitely in there. I also want to get to some of the Ursula K. Le Guin Prize works that I still haven't gotten to. I have Saint of Bright Doors out from the library to get to. That's on that list. So many things that I would like to get to by the end of the year. Is there a book you think that could still shock you and become your favorite book of the year? I say this every year, but that's all books, basically. I definitely have had more books that I go in expecting to be mediocre this year than usual, because I've read a good amount of cozy type books. And those, yeah, I don't expect those to be new favorites. But just about everything else, I am going into in the hope that, yeah, this could blow me away. And I definitely have had multiple new favorites, potentially of all time this year. So I've had a very strong reading year. However, this year has been a little odd because I haven't had the ratio of books that have been just really fantastic and blown me away, but the ones that have been very high up there. And I think lastly is, have you already started making reading plans for next year? I'm actually going very light on reading plans next year. I'm not even totally sure I want to do goals at all next year, or structured plans necessarily. I'm sure I will end up doing it anyway, because you always get involved and excited about that at the beginning of the year and wanting to set out all the things you want to do. So I probably will do something, but I'm going to keep it pretty light. And the one thing I know I want to do is repeating the idea that I've had the past 2 years in my goals, where I do a library browsing type goal every month. So my once a month library browsing goal 2 years ago was focused on selecting bestsellers every month and picking one based on whatever was inspiring my interest at the time. This year, that has been nonfiction. So I go browse the nonfiction shelves once a month. And that has really helped me and changed the way I view those things and drawn me toward other books beyond my one per month. So that has really helped. The thing that I want to do in the coming year is use that same structure, but pick out books, either fiction or nonfiction, that I haven't seen other people talking about. Because I do browse my library an absolute ton, and I see a lot of books that are unknown to me, that look interesting, and I sort of file them away and just never get to them, and I pile those up as this might be a long shot that I could be interested, but I haven't really seen anybody talk about it. So maybe I'll get to it later. So I want to get to those sooner rather than later and actually reach for some of those unknowns and maybe give them some exposure on BookTube so that they can be talked about and be that person that's maybe spreading them. So I think that is my one main goal for this coming year, and otherwise I'm going to keep it pretty low key. So I think that is it for the end of the year book tag. I cannot believe we have less than 2 months remaining. Yeah, so the end of the year has completely snuck up on me this year, I would say. And the year flew by, for sure. But I have so much I do want to accomplish at the end of the year, and at the same time, I don't really care if I accomplish any of it. So that is my end of year book tag, unsatisfying edition. Thank you all so very much for joining me today.